Hey there, Prog Noggins. Dave here, back from traveling, back from my time off, and I'm ready to get back to work. And I figure I'll dip my feet back in the water by doing something that I haven't done in a while, which was take a peek at Prog Magazine's weekly new prog tracks of the week. So I want to check out what's going on out there, get back in touch with new music, see what's happening. As you know, I'm going to watch the 6 or 7 videos they have put forward for consideration. At the end of that, I'm going to vote on one of those, and the one I vote on is going to turn out to be the one I do a full song reaction for, just to get to know the whole thing and give my thoughts on it. So we're going to be curious to see what has been released in my absence. This is brand new stuff that just came out, yesterday. So let's jump into that now. Let's see what's happening with them and get ye old headphones on and ready to go here. All right, so we're starting off with a band, and oh, God bless them. Look at that. They gave me a pronunciation guide. Isn't that sweet? How many times have I complained about not knowing how to pronounce what the heck's in front of me? Vmbra, which I was actually going to be my guess based on the way I've seen you used in previous bands. So, Vmbra, it's a quartet. Apparently, they did some really good stuff at the Bloodstock Festival, so I'm very curious to hear what they come out with. And let's see, The Classy and Confident, A Man Walks In, is released. And it is a story about a man with anterograde amnesia. I'm not sure what that necessarily means. I can't pronounce the damn word, so anterograde, and I forgot how to speak while I was gone. We're going to move on and quit trying to read this, and we're just going to listen to the music. So let's check it out. A Man Walks In by Vmbra. Buckle up. Now, of course, I know I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, for those that don't know the rules, I listen to about a minute and a half of each song before I select the song I'm going to do the full song review to. Starting off with a bang. It was kind of interesting, minimalist, straightforward chords to begin. But then the vocals, I love the vocals. She's reminding me a little bit of clean vocals, Tarja from Ginger, or maybe somebody else. Feel like I'm having a memory, but I'm not quite placing it. But I dig the vocals. I dig the way there's a little bit of the processing on them, makes them sound a little mysterious, slightly mechanical. Actually, I was kind of amused at the video at first. Literally, it's a guy walked in, and I thought if it was nothing but a video of him walking in the middle of them playing and looking around at them confused, that would have been good enough for me. But it looks like there's a little bit of a more story they're going to tell with this. But so far, off to a very good start. I like the tune, and I really like the vocals. So let's see what they have next for us here. So A.A. Williams, he is a post-rock luminary. You know me, my history with post-rock is don't always love it. See where it goes. Post-metal I like more than post-rock on average, but let's see. That's actually a she. I didn't realize that first. A.A. Williams, her latest album, Solstice. And that's coming out June 5th. And she's Label mates with Opeth, Meshuggah, and Amorphous, which is interesting because it doesn't sound like she would fit their style. But we'll see what happens. So it's a Poison is a song of learning not to fear freedom, letting restraints melt away. So let's get into it here. We're another female vocalist, actually. We have a trend, possibly. Maybe a coincidence? Well, if a third one comes up, it's a trend. So Poison by A.A. Williams, post-rock luminary that she is. Buckle up.
You've always seen that I needed something to take the edge off. A mellow poison you slide under my skin, and I like it. 'Cause one day you might dissolve me, but I wouldn't care if I knew. So hold me under, take me to the very edge, be this hunger, be my savior from myself.
Well, this is interesting because this is not typically what I think of when I think of post-rock. This actually has, I guess I'll call it a bit more momentum. So much of post-rock, I think, loses me a little because it tends to be a bit ambient, a bit too ambient, tends to be a bit on the droning side, tends to have a lot of extended passages where very little changes. And I know that's part of the reason I've always been drawn to progressive type rock is the frequent changes in tone and tempo and texture and style that keeps things interesting and varied. And so, yeah, here we go. We got a situation where post-rock usually loses me because it doesn't have a lot of that. And in this case, though, this moves forward very much. If you want the old in it for a minute to win it adage, as far as pop music goes, boom, she got in. She's got a chorus, a vocal, a verse, and I think a chorus in there. All in about a minute. You got an idea of what the song is doing. So it has a lot more forward momentum than I typically feel in a lot of post-rock. So I'm kind of surprised it's called that. It's maybe post-rock light. Borders on post-metal with a distortion in there. But again, it also is very ambient, minimalist in the arrangement and the progression. Not sure where it'll go from there. I like her vocals. Very cool. As far as video goes, they are really digging into the creepy images between the bugs and the barbed wire and all that other stuff going on. So it's got a spookiness to it as well, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not bad. Let's see what happens. Better than I expected for most post-rock. Now we jump into something familiar. Crown Lands with Blackstar. The new album is going to be coming out very soon. Obviously, as they mentioned here, yeah, you know what? These guys definitely have been influenced by Rush and a lot of their sound. The new album, Apocalypse, coming out soon. And this is a bit of a sequel to the 2 albums or 2 EPs, however you want to call them, last year, Ritual 1, Ritual 2. And it's another part of this apparently sprawling concept album. And I'm very curious. Actually, did I say... Yeah, May 15th is when this album comes out. I feel like I said June 5th, but I think that was the last album. Back into the grind, and I'm just getting my brain back on here. So anyway, this is the story of Blackstar, who was a character, and his rise to power within the Syndicate. Sounds very cool, and the thumbnail looks pretty cool. Let's check out what Crown Lands has for us in this latest single for the upcoming album. Buckle up. Ooh, very cinematic. Okay, the boys, the guys, the folks at Crownlands don't disappoint. They are doing what they've done very well, and this is actually fits very nicely in the rest of their catalog. What I hear so far, definitely, it's got some nice punch to it. It's got some nice groove and some hooks to it. Got a good, easy to digest and pick up chorus to it. Digging it, and it still very much has that Rush kind of sound to it, but it feels like it's drifting a little bit away from that. Doesn't quite feel as linked to 70s Rush there as some of their other stuff has. Matter of fact, it maybe starts to drift a little towards more modern stuff, and maybe somewhere between 70s Rush and Coheed and Cambria. But I do dig it, and I like their commitment to the thematic, the cinematic feel of things with the costumes and everything like that. So they're going a bit over the top, but as always, showing off their chops. So definitely, this is shaping up to be a very solid new album from them coming up soon. And last album they had out was definitely one of my favorites of that year, and they definitely had one of my favorite songs of the year for that year. It's about 2 years ago at this point in time. I've lost track. But anyway, yeah, digging this so far. So a solid set of songs that Prog Magazine has put forth so far this week. Let's see what's next. Kristoffer Gildenlöw. And, I've seen this name come up recently, I believe. Showed up in my emails. So I got a chance to check out this album in advance. I'm going to have to do that. He was the original bassist for Pain of Salvation. He's apparently Dutch. And he's got a new album coming up, Humanized. That's coming out May 29th. Very much a prog album, from what it's saying. So the first single, I guess, apparently was very simplistic, built around 2 chords. Interesting. I did not catch that one. I did miss that, I'll have to admit. So it's interesting. He intended this time, I guess, to write a heavier album. And he's had some of these songs digesting or gestating, probably a better term, over the last many years. So I'm checking it out. I'm interested. Let us see what Kristoffer, I guess that's probably how it is. It was spelled a little differently. It threw me off at first. Kristoffer Gildenlöw, formerly of Pain of Salvation. And the song is The Almosts. Buckle up. Oh, actually, that's the song we're talking about. Oh, you're throwing me off. So this one will be, I can't read. Hey, Dave. Okay.
exceptions for those like us, like me. We dawn in the shadows, so far away from the searchlight's blinding rays.
Okay. Hey, build on two chords. It doesn't matter to me. That's pretty cool. I'm digging the build up. I'm digging the tension that they generate in terms of getting just up to this far. One senses that, the chorus is going to come in pretty strong, pretty hard. And I'm rather looking forward to it and quite intrigued in what I'm hearing so far. So I like what's happening here. I like the sound. I like the approach. Yeah, it might be comparatively minimalistic when you're talking about somebody that is generally, it's the word I'm looking for, been associated with a band as complex and proggy as Pain of Salvation. But I like the straightforward approach here, and I like the way he's just using those two repeated chords to build up the tension. It's nicely done, and I'm very curious to hear the rest of it at this point in time. So definitely a strong set of songs that Prog Magazine has given us this week. All right, moving on. Tarja. That's a name that will probably almost all of us recognize. Of course, we're talking about Tarja from Nightwish. Yeah. And coming back with something new album, Frisson Noir. I'm going to say, I hope that's pronounced. This is an epic. Let me see here. The first single was an epic 10-minute song. Cool. And I Don't Care is no less impressive, they say here. I did not. Did I catch the first one? I don't remember. I think I missed it. I don't think I did that week, so I do believe I missed it. It's featuring Dani Filth as well. I feel like I've heard that name, and I don't know Dani Filth. Cradle of Filth. Okay. Gee, that was simple enough, Dave. So I'm curious to hear what goes on with this, because I don't associate Cradle of Filth with quite the operatic symphonic metal that I've typically associated Tarja with. So it'll be interesting to see what we get out of this. Let's see what happens. So Tarja, along with Dani Filth, I Don't Care. Buckle up. Interesting. Kind of been unexpected to see that they shared the vocals basically right together, backing one another. Or was Dani maybe backing Tarja? Probably that way. But for the chorus, I didn't necessarily expect that. It's hard to know sometimes, because I know traditionally when symphonic metal gets in with that dynamic between clean and harsh vocals, typically it's kind of like a trade back and forth, where they kind of take turns back and forth, or maybe the harsh vocals are used for some emphasis of certain parts or in transitions. And generally the primary focus is given to the clean vocals. And here it certainly sounds, as I started to pause it, that they were switching, and the dynamic was going to be that for the second verse, the harsh vocals were going to be covered by Dani. Which is interesting, a little bit unexpected. I kind of dig it. It doesn't have some of the cheesiness that I sometimes associate with some symphonic metal. I hate to say it that way, but it's just always kind of the way I've felt it. Like, some of it I really like and I really dig, and some of it, because of the cheesiness, I really enjoy the over-the-top, operatic, over-dramatic kind of stuff that goes along with symphonic metal. But yeah. Not a bad little start to it. I wasn't sure what was going to happen there with Dani, but it was interesting the way they mixed the vocals together for the chorus. And I felt it made a nice contrast, a nice dynamic. Neither one of them seemed to really crush the other, but they complemented one another more nicely than I might have expected to happen. So, okay. Itchy nose. All right. And then finally here, Devin Townsend. Definitely a name we know. And Devin, of course, has been, that's going to be the second single that comes out for The Moth. And we all knew who Devin is. And I think certainly given when The Moth was released or performed live and streamed, many of us were there for it last year. I ended up missing it, unfortunately, due to timing concerns, but what are you going to do? But the album version of that is coming out May 29th. And yeah, this was a big deal for Devin and kind of calling it his life's work. And this is the second single. And I noticed the singles for this are very, comparatively very short. I think both of them now are under 3 minutes or close to 3 minutes. So that's kind of interesting. Like I knew this was out. I haven't seen it, but I want to see what happens here. And I see they mentioned a little bit of Devin's vocal prowess. Well, we all know about that. And so I think that means it's going to be, I'm expecting an impressive vocal performance from this, but let's see what happens here. So Devin Townsend, Home at Night from The Moth. Buckle up. And I lied. This is 5 minutes and 15 seconds. So what did I get wrong about thinking that this single was a little bit shorter? I wonder if there's a single edit somewhere that's a lot shorter. Could have sworn I saw something that was like 2 minutes and something. Anyway, I'm immediately proven wrong. Sorry. Yeah, vocal prowess doesn't even begin to describe it. Honestly, you know what? As I see this here, watching them back to back, someday I want to see Devin do a collaboration with Tarja. I think that could be impressive because I honestly think he could trade vocals with her blow for blow all the way through. He's got such an operatic quality to his voice, such a classic vocal style when he wants to pull it out there, and he's clearly got the range. And it's so interesting how he can just flit from one genre to another so smoothly, so effortlessly. The man really, truly is a phenomenon among the world of the progressive rock and just really anything he wants to do. This is a pretty cool, interesting little video too, in a certain sense. It's just him performing, but then somewhere along the line he becomes his own audience, which is in and of itself something that is just ripe for a bit of psychological analysis and has me intrigued for where the rest of the video goes here. And from what I know of The Moth and the concept behind it, it makes sense that he may go this route here, where at some point in time he's viewing himself and considering himself for what he puts out there for the audience. And as we all put out our personas for our audiences, myself included, although I'd like to think this is what you're seeing here is what you're going to see in person. Maybe a little less vocal panache. Does anybody on this planet think I've got panache with my voice? I'm talking shit. Anyway, let me move on from here. Next one, Lost in KYIV. You know, recent months or years, whatever, with all the stuff going on in Ukraine, in my whole life, it was Kiev. And then I hear more and more it's Kyiv or even Kyiv. I don't even know anymore. So I'm going to go with Kyiv. I'm going to go somewhere in between there. So Lost in KYIV. French post-rock quartet. More post-rock here. Is post-rock prog rock? I feel like that is a discussion for the Prog Council somewhere down the road here, and I think we're going to take that topic on. But that'll be a preview of something that is just growing in my mind now. Anyway, they're a quartet. They're going to be releasing a new album. We're all going to be fine. That's June 19th. And it's, I guess the band is supposedly beefing up their atmospheric sound as post-rock. It tends to be very atmospheric and ambient. I'm not sure what beefing it up is going to mean in this case. So the song is called Eclipse. This is about as much as I know. I see a French horn. I don't know what's happening with that, but I'll be curious to find out. Lost in KYIV and Eclipse. Buckle up. They almost lost me until they kicked in there a little bit. I was ready to kind of go, it's another one of those kind of floaty, ambient, atmospheric post-rock things that doesn't necessarily grab me, but is there. It's not unappealing. It's just there and floaty and ethereal. But no, okay. This may have become my most favorite so far post-rock instrumental that I would call it post-rock. I was really digging that bit of jam there. It's pretty tasty. So it's going to make it tough this week, making a pick of what I'm going to listen to all the way through. So I'm not sure. I think, is that the last song we've got available? But I dig it. I kind of enjoyed what they were doing with the echoes and the atmospherics and everything like that. And then they jump in and it's like, maybe that's what beefing up post-rock sounds like. So let's see. Is that it? Yes, it is. It's a tough one. Because again, as usual, sometimes what I vote for is less about what I thought sounded best or what I necessarily immediately like best, but oftentimes what I am most curious about. A lot of strong stuff in there, a lot of standouts, from Vmbra to Crownlands to Kristoffer Gildenlöw to Devin and Lost in KYIV. I'm like, all right, so somewhere in there, I got to make a decision. And yeah, I think the one that I liked where it was building the tension the most is where I'm going to go. So drum roll, boom. Of course, you knew I gave it away. Kristoffer Gildenlöw. Yes. Without fail, I have pretty much picked just about the least favored track there. Over and over and over again. I am actually shocked a little bit at the moment that what I'm seeing here going on is that Tarja is leading by far. She is dominating the pack. I would not have expected that amongst the prog rock crowd, but who knows, man? Tarja has a lot of pull, and obviously she has a lot of cred for a reason. Out of everybody else, the next closest was Vmbra. So a lot of people with me were very intrigued by what Vmbra was doing there. That is a band I think I'll definitely be checking out. Maybe if it's anything, any consolation to me, I picked actually the number 3 one. It's 4% versus 64 and 22. But as usual, even in the world of esoteric progressive music, I somehow am always going against the flow, always going against the crowd. What are you going to do? It's just the way it is there. I notice my camera is doing the thing where it's following me. I haven't had that turned on for a while. Somehow that got switched back on. Hopefully I'm not making anybody motion sick out there. If you're wondering what's happening, the camera does that. Anyway, all right. So I will stick true to what I said I was going to do. I voted for Kristoffer Gildenlöw. I am going to check out that song and start it from the beginning there and give it the full song reaction. So, Kristoffer Gildenlöw, The Almosts, buckle up. I gotta say, I really like the bass counterpoint in all this. It's just a few touches here and there. It's sparse notes up to this point in time with that guitar constantly chugging. The guitar is just driving the song forward while maintaining and gradually ratcheting up the tension. At least that's the way I'm feeling it with that guitar, that bass in there. Just the note here, note there. Like the drumming so far, it's relatively restrained and sticking to pretty much at least what I was detecting, a 4/4 time signature. So keeping it a bit straightforward, but nonetheless, I dig it. I think maybe there's a certain flavor of it that maybe harkens back, reminds me of something from those like early 80s. It doesn't have a style or a tone like that, but I think an approach that reminds me of that I always dug. So I'm digging this so far, and I'm very looking forward to see where it goes when it really kicks in.
Shadows so far away from the searchlight's blinding rays. We root in the cracks where your pavement cannot stop us from tapping the living soil.
Should have paused right after the chorus there, whatever. But I love what they're doing with the bass in there. It's not overly complex. It's not overly precious in arrangement, but it's just a nice, tasty lick that throws in there and really just adds some flavor to the whole thing. Like this is not the proggiest thing I've ever heard. It's not overly complex in arrangement, but I'm really enjoying it. I really am digging just the straight ahead kind of ominous / simmering groove that they've got going on here.
Beneath your tide, the almost drifting cast aside, withering current out of view, too deep for roots, too strong for you. Our powers grow where lights won't go. Silently striking under
Okay, I love the layering of the vocal tracks in that chorus there that time around. That to me added just a really cool layer to this whole thing. Again, as much as I love prog rock and things like that, I do enjoy when something is a little bit less arranged, a little bit less complex, a little bit straightforward. And I just like this insistent force, this almost hypnotic approach to the music on this song, and just the way it's not gone over the top, and it's layers mostly more than anything like that, and it's just layers that play nicely with one another, complement one another without ever overwhelming one another, and it always gives you a little bit of something different to listen to if you attenuate your attention one way or the other. I'm really liking it. Honestly, it's like those two chords never leave at any point in the song. They are always there, always underneath, always moving it forward. They are the current that gives the song its background, its spine, and all that. Dig that song. That is an ad. That's going on The Expanse as soon as I can get it on there and going into my personal playlist. I really am glad I followed that. I like that. And oh, almost didn't notice here the little thing dedicated to everyone who failed or succeeded in being themselves. Maybe I sense that. I didn't quite catch the lyrics and all of it, but hey, if that's prog in and of itself. That's the way it should be. That's the way I approach this channel. And I've said to someone before, I succeed or don't succeed on my own terms on this channel. That's just sort of a mission statement on my part. I will do as I will do. And yeah, the algorithm might tell me, oh, you got to do this or you got to do that. Or people say you got to do what. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if I don't feel it, I won't do it. If I feel it, I will do it. Simple as that. Anyway, a little bit of a digression. Cool song. Curious, for those of you out there watching, drop something in the comments. What of these songs did you like best? Which of these intrigued you the most based on the minute-and-a-half listen? Like, which one would you have voted for, if not for Kristoffer, as I did? Which ones did you listen to all the way through and check out? And which ones did you enjoy? How did you feel? What did you think of this song in particular, too? Did you dig it as much as I did? I don't know. Curious to hear your comments. I want to know. And meanwhile, keep exploring, keep figuring out what else is out there. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like if you could. More importantly, subscribe to the channel, help it continue to grow, encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing, or discourage me, however you want to do it. If you want to support the channel, there's an option in there, a link to buy some merch. Got some fancy little t-shirts there. You can get the one with the Proggy the Prog bot or the Prog Council logo on it. Or, hey, just buy me a coffee if it knocks you out. Whatever it is. But I hope you'll join me for future videos. We got some new cool stuff out this week. I've got an interview coming up with Andreas Holstand. I think I remember the name correctly there in the moment, of Port Noir. And we've got the Prog Council with another episode coming up very soon. That shall be an interesting one. Of course, we've got other ones in the pipeline coming up. So stick around, join me, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can hear and be notified whenever something new is uploaded. Meanwhile, the only other thing I can say to you is hang loose, never fear to deviate from the norm, and as always, keep it proggy.